Hey, welcome back to the Plant Pair channel. I want to talk about today's workout. I did 3 sets of pistol squats using my bench, as you can see here. I like doing them on the bench because it lets me keep good form without having to force that bottom position of keeping my extended leg high enough off the floor. I also did 3 sets of pull-ups with different grips, followed by close grip angled push-ups on my parallel bars. The angle of the parallettes that I use that you'll see coming up just feels really nice on my wrists and really lights up my triceps, in my opinion. So I also threw in a couple sets of a JM style dumbbell press, which is just kind of like a mix between a close grip bench and a skull crusher. And I also did a couple sets of hammer curls as well. I finished off with some dumbbell upright rows for like my shoulders and traps, and then just 1 set of RDLs to hit the posterior chain. So, with that said, I want to get into the topic of the video. I think one of the biggest traps people fall into today, especially in fitness, is comparison. Now, this video might end up sounding like a pep talk of sorts or a bit cliche, but I think it's important to talk about and get out there, so hopefully you stick around. We live in a time where every single day we see hundreds of bodies, hundreds of physiques, perfect lighting, perfect angles, perfect moments, and it's so easy to scroll and think, why don't I look like that yet? Or, what am I doing wrong? And I want to talk about that today because if there's one thing I've learned after years of training, it's that comparison can really ruin potential progress for people, unfortunately. Because when you're constantly measuring yourself against someone else's highlight reel, you lose sight of what actually matters, your journey. So today, this is just a reminder to stop comparing, to stop beating yourself up for not looking like your favorite fitness influencer, or even me, or anybody else you see online. We're not supposed to look the same. You're supposed to look like you. Every single person has a completely different starting point, right? Different genetics, bone structure, muscle insertions, metabolism, fat distribution, the list goes on. Even two people who do everything the same, eat the same meals, train the same way, sleep the same hours, are going to end up looking different. And that's not failure, that's just how human bodies work. So when you see someone online who looks insane, shredded, lean, perfect symmetry, massive muscles, remember that yes, they might have genetics that help give them that specific look, or they might have been training for 15 plus years, or they might have great lighting and filters for the photos they choose to post. You don't know their situation, and it doesn't matter because you're not them and they're not you, right? And that's actually one of the best parts about training. You get to build your version of strong. You get to improve your physique. You get to see what your body can become with effort and consistency. That's exciting. That's something to be proud of. The problem with comparison is that it shifts your focus away from the process. It turns something that should be empowering, like working out, taking care of yourself, building strength, into something that feels like punishment, like I'm not good enough yet. You start chasing someone else's physique instead of chasing your own potential. And when you're focused on what you don't have, you stop appreciating how far you've already come. You could be 10 pounds stronger, 20 pounds lighter, maybe healthier than you've ever been in years. But if you're too busy comparing, you won't even notice it. The truth is, many people don't quit fitness because it's too hard. They quit because they think they're not progressing fast enough because they're comparing themselves to others on social media. And that's sad because you might be doing amazing. You just can't see it through the lens of comparison. Here's what you can control. And these are the only things that matter, honestly: your effort, your consistency, your nutrition, your recovery, and your stress. That's pretty much it. That's the formula, and it works because the results you're chasing, they come from stacking small wins over long periods of time. They come from doing the basics really well, not chasing someone else's perfection. If you nail these controllables, your body will improve, period. How it ends up looking with all of that in place, that's just the hand you were dealt. And you can be proud of what you've built. You also have to remember that most people you see online are deep into their journey. You're seeing chapter 20 while you might still be writing chapter 2, and that's okay. Everybody starts somewhere. Nobody is born jacked. Nobody wakes up one day with perfect abs and or capped shoulders, right? It's years, literal years of showing up, learning, failing, adjusting, repeating. So when you catch yourself thinking, man, I should look like that by now, take a step back and ask, have I really given myself the same amount of time, patience, and consistency that they probably have? Because progress takes time. And if you quit halfway because you don't look like someone else, you're never going to see what you could have become. And look, even when it comes to me, don't compare yourself to me either. Yeah, I'll be honest, I probably do have pretty decent genetics. I've always responded fairly well to training, but that's just one piece of the puzzle. You don't probably see the years I've put in, the consistency, the early morning cardio before work for years, the times I trained when I didn't feel like it. You don't see the years of structure, the nutrition, the recovery, the patience that it's taken over time. The point isn't that I've got great genetics, it's that I've maximized what I've been given. That's what matters. And you can do the exact same thing with your genetics, because at the end of the day, it's not about who has the best raw hand. It's about who plays their hand the best, if that makes sense. That's what's gotten me where I am, showing up, putting in the work, and staying consistent year after year. So if you take anything from my videos, don't take it as, man, I need to look like Cody. Take it as, if I stay consistent, I'll find my version of this. Because that's all I'm trying to show, that it's possible to build a strong, capable body with what you have. And let me say this too, it's perfectly fine to want to look better. That's one of the best parts of training. You should want to look in the mirror and be proud of what you see. I'm the same way. I care about how I look too. But that's not the main reason I train anymore, because the longer you do this, the more you realize the real reward isn't just aesthetics. It's honestly how you feel. It's waking up with energy. It's being able to run, jump, move, play with your kids, carry your groceries, knock out pull-ups in your 40s, 50s, and beyond. It's just feeling capable, right? It's feeling confident in your own skin, not because you look perfect, but because you know you've earned that feeling through effort. Looking good is the side effect. Feeling good, that's the main goal. So instead of comparing yourself to someone on Instagram, compare yourself to your past self. Look at old pictures, old numbers, old habits. That's the real competition. Are you more disciplined than you were last year? Are you performing exercises with better form or doing more reps? Are you eating better, sleeping better, managing stress better? That's progress. It might not always show up in the mirror right away, but it always shows up eventually, right? It in how you feel, how you carry yourself, how confident you are. That's a real transformation. So stop trying to win a comparison that doesn't even exist. Focus instead on the things that make you genuinely better: the daily habits, the work ethic, the mindset, because those things are under your control. You have everything you need. You don't need perfect genetics. You don't need the best equipment. You don't need the perfect program. You just need the willingness to show up day after day and do what you can with what you have. You do that long enough, and you'll be shocked at how far you're going to go. The people who make the biggest transformations aren't the ones with the best genetics. They're the ones who stayed consistent the longest. So the next time you scroll and see someone with a perfect physique, remind yourself, their body is their body. Your body is your body. Different materials, different blueprints, different stories, but you can still build something incredible with yours. You can still be proud of your progress. You can still push your limits and evolve year after year. That's what fitness is about. Not comparison, not envy, just self-improvement. One day, one rep, one meal, one night of good sleep at a time. So keep going, keep training, and keep focusing on what you can control. So if this helped you, or if you've ever struggled with comparison, drop a comment and let me know. I read every one of them, and I love hearing your guys' stories. Hit that like button if you want to see more mindset talks like this while I train. And if you're new here, subscribe, because I want to keep showing you that you don't need a gym membership to build a strong, capable, confident body. You just need to start and keep going. All right, I'll see you in the next one.